That is perfect. The texture is so good. It's like, hey everyone, Dave here, back in the kitchen, and I had a fun and tasty idea. I was like, you know what I want to do? I want to make some tacos. But I don't just want to make tacos, I want to make pork belly tacos. And I want them to be keto. This is not something I've ever done before, but it's something we're about to try. And so this is pork belly, 1.5 pounds of it. Got it from Wally World, also known as Walmart. And yeah, we're gonna try this. So it's kind of like bacon, guys. Now at Walmart, it's already pre-sliced, which is kind of nice. Take some of the work out of it. I'm gonna leave that there, let it dry a little bit, and we're gonna make a seasoning kind of dump, a dry rub for them. All right, so to make our dry rub, this will be pretty easy. You probably already have most of these ingredients. We need a teaspoon of smoked paprika. I did a 1/2 teaspoon twice because, guys, if you've never watched my channel, you may not realize that I lose all my measuring tools constantly. So I'm just constantly making it work with whichever one I can find. We're also gonna do 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. It's just like a basic dry rub. 1 teaspoon of onion powder. 1 teaspoon of chili powder. These are gonna be really good, I hope. I don't know, I've never made them before. I've dabbled in this, but I've never made them before, and I wanted to make them in the oven. I do have a smoker, but I thought the oven is more approachable. More of you probably have ovens, so if you wanna try it at home, this will make it a little easier for you to copy me. 1 teaspoon of salt goes in next, and I went a little heavy on that one, so I'll go a little, never go salt to bowl. And a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, which is the first time I actually get to use this measuring spoon correctly. All right, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. We can just kind of mix that all up like so, and that's gonna be our dry rub for our pork belly strips. Now, I will say, we wanna chop up our pork belly strips. We don't want them in these big pieces. Want them to be in bite-sized chunks, so I think pretty significantly smaller than what we have here. Probably like that would be good, right? I mean, think about it on a taco. On a taco, you'd want it to be pretty small. So we're kind of doing it like this. I guess this wasn't the best, the best strategy here to make them, put them all in my way first, but you get the idea. We're basically just gonna chop these up into little bite-sized pork belly pieces and set them over on the side. Not too challenging, even though my knife's kind of dull. All right, so after much chopping and cutting, I've got my pork belly chopped up nice and beautifully. Now I can just throw it in a bowl and got my nice vintage Pyrex here, guys. I like my vintage bowls and such. Now I want to toss about a tablespoon of olive oil in here and kind of mix it around, and then we're gonna add our seasoning dump that we made a minute ago. Dry rub, just kind of sprinkle it about. And I feel like if I use my hand, I'm gonna get the seasoning all over it. Which I don't really mind having messy hands, but I don't want the seasoning to not be on the meat. I don't want to waste a bunch of it on my fingers, so I'm going to try to use a fork to do this. Then I'll add some more, and we'll just see how that goes. I've got my hands still dirty if it's needed. All right, that seems to be working. So mix all the dry rub all over your pork belly. And there we go. It's all been used up and is covering the pork belly with deliciosity and so on and so forth. Hope it's good. It looks good. It smells good. All right, so is this the right kind of wire rack? Can I put that in the oven? I don't know. It says I'm supposed to put it on a wire rack. I don't know if I'm doing this right. We'll see. A foil-lined sheet and then a wire rack on top of it, like this. I am down 16 pounds right now. Like legit, I've lost 16 pounds since I got my Hume Body Pod. I don't know why, but this thing actually kicked me into gear to finally get serious about losing weight. And I wanna tell you about it. The Hume Body Pod is actually really nice because it gives you an entire picture of your whole body health. It basically gives you all the power of a body analyzer that you'd find at a gym, which, you know, those cost $20,000, $30,000, but it gives it to you in your own house. And it's really nice because it's got an app with it where you can actually track your body fat percentage, your water percentage, your metabolic age, your basal rate. Is that what it's called? Basal rate? Either way, it's got all the tools and important data that you need to figure out where your body is at. And when I got this thing and I got on it and it told me, Dave, your physical age is 48 years old and I'm just turning 40 10 months ago. I was like, no, 48's not acceptable. I need to get more fit. And so ever since then, I have been working on losing weight, and this thing has been helping me along the way. Yes, I know I do have a long way to go yet, but I'm gonna continue using my Hume Body Pod to help me get to my goals by using things like the built-in integration with Fitbit and Samsung and Apple Health, and the personalized insights from AI that are built into the app that really help me figure out where I'm at. This can measure 40 different health metrics, and I do think you should try it out if you wanna get serious about understanding your body and your health. I'm gonna put a link down below so you can grab one today. And if you use my link, and my code, it will stack on top of Hume's current sale and save you even more money on one of these. So definitely check that out. I also wanna say it is HSA and FSA eligible. They did tell me that, and that's really cool. I don't have an HSA account anymore, but I did at my old job, and it was really nice to be able to buy like my blood pressure monitor and things like that with the HSA or the FSA, and you can now do that for your actual Hume Health Body Pod too, which is really quite handy. Anyways, guys, that's my update for you on that. Thank you, Hume Health, for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to our cook and see how this recipe comes out. And then the pork belly on top of that, I guess. I don't know. Does that seem right to you guys? Kind of like falling through. We'll try it. Doesn't hurt to try. So I'm just like loading up this wire rack with pork belly. Hopefully it all fits. It's gonna be a tight squeeze, I think, because I got a lot of pork belly here. I feel like it means one of those smaller wire racks, not this big giant tall one, but yeah. They're kind of falling through the cracks. It's not ideal. Dang it, Scuba Steve. Please comment and let me know if I'm failing at this. I feel like I might be. I feel like they're all gonna fall. Look at that one's just dangling. Just dangling over there. Maybe I should put the foil on the wire rack, but then doesn't that defeat the purpose of said wire rack? I don't know. Well, there's where we landed with that. Hopefully that's right. We'll put it in the oven at 300 degrees. You know, if you've been here a while, you know I get my recipes from AI, ChatGPT. I ask it to come up with the recipes. I'm gonna send it a picture of this and see if this looks right. While we wait for that answer, I'm gonna put it in the oven because it's a long cook. Yes, that looks spot on. You've got evenly cut pork belly pieces, good coverage on the dry rub, wire rack, foil lined, blah-de-blah-de-blah. All right, so it looks good. So 35 to 40 minutes in the oven at 300, but don't go anywhere because we have to make our other filling. Dog scratching at the door. Sometimes my big dog just wants to know what's happening. She feels left out. So let's work on the cabbage filling. All right, so we need some cabbage for our cabbage slaw that's gonna be in there. So we just need a cup of shredded red cabbage and a cup of shredded green cabbage. Ooh. So yeah, that should be pretty easy. A cup is not that much. And I think you can buy it pre-shredded too. You could probably buy like a pre-shredded slaw in its entirety, but I figured we'd use like a real head of each. It'll probably be about a quarter of each of these, maybe a little more than a quarter on that one. And then just slice them up, shred them up. I don't know how small the pieces need to be. Have not washed this yet. I figured I'd wash it after I chopped it. Is that a mistake? You tell me in the comments below. Probably is. That's just me being lazy. I just figured I could clean it better once I cut it. I do like me some cabbage. Reminds me of the carnival. Not really, but if anyone out there just got my Austin Powers reference, let me know in the comments below. Classic 90s film. Haven't watched it in a long time, but when I was a kid, I loved it. I can just use this like steamer thingy. And I just want a cup of each color. So there's a half a cup. Put it on there, and then I can go rinse it on there. And then same thing with the purple. Yeah, this is a lot of cabbage. More than I needed. And probably more diced up than it needed to be, but that's all right. So I'm gonna go rinse this and I guess save all this. I got way too much cabbage. Way too much, folks. That's what we've learned. Way too much cabbage for Dave. You know, since I diced it, before I get rid of it, why don't I just double this? That wouldn't be hard. And then I'll have some extra and I can use it for other stuff. That makes sense. That's logical. I'll do a double recipe of the cabbage slaw. All right, so to make our slaw, we're gonna need a half a cup of mayonnaise. And I think this is really going to be an important part of the recipe, just because that like crunchy, cold slaw with the pork belly tacos is really gonna be, I think, spectacular. But we'll see, we'll see. Now, I totally messed that up. Totally. I only needed half a cup. Is that what I did? That's exactly what I did. Dang it. Just me making mistakes. Just ignore me. Ignore me. I should edit that out. Maybe I won't though, because it'd be funnier for you to see me screwing up. So it was calling for a quarter cup, but then I duplicated it, so it should be a half a cup, which is exactly what I had put in there. So I did it right, despite me saying sabotaging myself. I had done it properly. We then want 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. You know, this whole place smelled like apple cider vinegar the other day, and I could not figure out the source of it. Turns out, oh crap, that was a little heavy-handed. That was 2 tablespoons of it, by the way. I don't know if I said that. But it turned out like one of my things of apple cider vinegar, like North Carolina style dressings. It was from Smithfield's Barbecue. If you live up in like North Carolina or South Carolina, you'll know Smithfield. I had bought the big jug so I could make my own pulled pork, and it like exploded and was spilling all over the ground. So that was a half a teaspoon of salt. We then want a full teaspoon of garlic powder, and a half teaspoon of black pepper, which I'm like overdoing it on all these by accident. I want to mix that all together. I might need a little more mayo because I dropped a little mayo. I put a little too much apple cider vinegar. So I might need a little, maybe not though, maybe not. This is a slaw, it should be okay. I'm making a mess, dang it. I'm really good at this. Now we're gonna add our washed up cottage flour, cauliflower, brain fart. Cabbage, that's the word I'm looking for, cabbage. A little water in there, I'm trying not to get too much of the water in it. And we wanna just kind of mix this slaw up, make sure that it gets that liquid all over it. Because I think we want it to get like a little soggy in a sense. I know that's not a very attractive word when it comes to food, soggy. But when I think of slaw, I think of like a pretty wet kind of thing. You know, not too crispy, but a little crispy. But maybe it's because I'm used to having it in a cafeteria where it's been sitting in a warmer tray for 6 hours. The bowl's a little bit small, but anyways, that looks pretty good to me. There's our slaw. And then we're gonna throw that into the fridge to kind of let it all mix and meld and merge until we're ready to use it. Now, we're trying to make this keto cottage cheese. I made a mess here. Short rib tacos. No, not short rib. Pork belly tacos. And so that would require a low carb tortilla as well. I actually have some that I got at the store that are like the pre-done ones, but I also have a really good recipe for them on my channel. I'll try to put, at the end of this video, I'll try to link to the tortilla recipe that you can do at home that is cottage cheese based, and they come out great. They're really pretty easy. I'm actually out of cottage cheese at the moment, otherwise I'd just make some. But yeah, they're actually really good, and they're just a super simple cottage cheese based tortilla, super low carb. I'll put the link, make sure you watch that next, or you can just buy the pre-made low carb tortillas, which is what I'm gonna have for today. But let's let this pork belly cook up for a little longer. It needs about 25 more minutes, and then we have to do some finishing touches on it, and then we can actually do the tasting, which is what I'm most excited about. All right, so sugar-free barbecue sauce. I mean, I don't know. With the amount of barbecue sauce, you might be able to just use normal. I don't know that you really need to use sugar-free if you use just a little bit, but we're gonna use sugar-free. We're trying to keep it as keto as possible. And we're gonna pull out our pork belly. Look at that. Ooh, that looks good. That looks real good, Clark. I'm bumping my temp on my oven up to 425 degrees. And then I'm going to brush these delicious looking pork belly bites with this barbecue sauce. Just brush it on top. So I'm just trying to get barbecue sauce all over it without having too many of them fall through the cracks here. They're definitely falling through the cracks a little bit. Ow, hot. Hot, it's hot, folks. It's very hot. So you want to get a little of that barbecue sauce all over it. Now again, if you're not doing keto, use normal barbecue or not, it's up to you. We're using the sugar-free barbecue sauce. We're gonna brush that on. We're gonna put our oven at 425, like I said. And you know, worst case, if you really like want some more BBQ on it, once you put it into the taco shell, you could always add a little more, but you have to be careful of the carbs and stuff. So they look very good. They look crispy and like the fat rendered out of them. You can see it on the bottom of the pan there. I'm trying to rescue some of the pieces that fell down in there without burning my hands too bad. Ow, ow. It's hot. Oh, they keep falling. Well, you get the idea. So we're gonna put this back into the oven, but this time at 425 for 5 to 7 minutes. And keep a close eye on them to watch for burning. We don't want them to burn. Really, we don't want the sauce to burn. They themselves won't burn, but the sauce could burn if we're not careful. I've just embraced having sticky fingers at this point. Dang it, they're all falling. All right, whatever, back in the oven. All right, here we go. 5 minutes have passed, and this is what they look like. They look amazing. Our little pork belly bits, our little pork belly bites, our keto pork belly bites. Now, like I said, I'm just using the low carb wraps I already have instead of making some. You can definitely heat these up if you want. Get them nice and warm. And yeah, we're just gonna try this out, and I'm gonna let you know if it's worth you making at home. This nice keto pork belly taco. Put a bunch of meat on here. Add a little more sauce if you want it. We will take our slaw we made earlier. Don't forget about your slaw. You could also add like cheese or whatever. You know, it's your life. Do what you want. A little bit of slaw on here. And now we're gonna test it and see if this really is the world's best. I'm excited about it. It's a nice substantial delight we've made here. I don't wanna burn myself. That is perfect. The texture is so good. It's like glazing from the barbecue, and then the outside has like a little crisp, but then the inside kind of melts in your mouth when you bite into it. So, see if I can get it in focus there. You see that? Look how good that looks. That is delicious. And it really was quite easy. If you think about the process we did here, we just chopped up the pork belly, threw a little bit of seasoning on it with some olive oil, cooked it for 40 minutes, took it out, glazed it with some barbecue sauce, threw it back in at 425 for like 7 minutes. Boom, they're done. Easy in the oven. This was easy enough. Just some cabbage, some green cabbage and some red cabbage, mixed up with some mayo and some other spices. And we have a delicious, perfect pork belly taco that'll work for your keto diet. Guys, if you like this, hit the subscribe, hit the like button, and we'll see you next time.